Let's move on now to the next main topic today. And our next main topic today comes to us from Brad Alverez, who writes, "Hi, John. A couple of my favorite MCU movies have been the Ant-Man films. I just sort of assumed Marvel would be making a third one, but Paul Rudd just recently said he didn't know if it was, and asked fans to campaign Marvel to make another one. Why wouldn't Marvel want to do a third one, considering how good and successful they've been? And what do you think of Rudd asking fans to help get it made?" All right, thanks a lot for the question, man. I appreciate it. Now, for those of you who don't know what it is that Brad is talking about, actor Paul Rudd, who of course is Ant-Man, he was recently asked about the future of the franchise and when can we expect to see an Ant-Man 3. And basically what Paul Rudd said is he has no idea what they're doing with Ant-Man in the future or if they're going to do another one. Now, as Brad was saying, there's probably a lot of people that have been assuming that, well, obviously they're going to make another one. The first two were good movies and they made money. The first one, I got to double check that, but the first one made over almost $520 million at the box office. The second one did even more, making $620 million at the box office. So obviously they've been successful. They're making money. People enjoy them. And Ant-Man has become a beloved character in the MCU. He's been in 4 films in the MCU right now, starting, of course, with Ant-Man, which I adore. I love this movie. Absolutely love Ant-Man. Then he was in Civil War. And I'll tell you what, I saw that movie about, 6 times in theaters. And every time, Paul Rudd's appearance in the van as Ant-Man probably got the biggest pop. As far as laughs and cheers go. I mean, it got a huge pop. People love seeing him in that. Then they did Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I thought that was a really strong follow-up. I prefer the first Ant-Man, granted, but Ant-Man and the Wasp was a strong follow-up, and it did even better financially. Made over $622 million at the box office. And then, of course, he played a really key role in Avengers Endgame, right? So he is a beloved character in this franchise. He's a loved character in this franchise. Why wouldn't they want to do a third one? Now, I said a long time ago that I didn't believe that we were going to see Ant-Man again. At least I didn't think we were going to see another standalone Ant-Man film. Could we see him appear in another movie? That's possible. But I didn't think we'd see him in another standalone film. And the reason I didn't think we'd see him in another standalone film was because, number one, while his movies made money, and they did make money, while they have been profitable and made money, and the sequel made more than the first, Ant-Man hasn't been the most financially profitable franchise for Marvel at this point. They've made other movies that have made more and done a little bit better financially than the Ant-Man films have. They're also looking to new properties. We've got the Eternals coming. We got Shang-Chi coming. We've got other new original characters coming, and we've got existing characters who seem to make more money with their movies. On top of that, it just kind of feels to me like after Endgame, the main purpose for Ant-Man and the role of Ant-Man may be played out. Ant-Man's role may be played out. So I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't be shocked or surprised to find out that Marvel doesn't do another Ant-Man film at this point. Is it possible? Sure. But I never thought they would. And hearing Paul Rudd, kind of bring this up and talk about it and say, we don't know what's going to happen with it. I have no idea what the future of him is. It doesn't surprise me at all because that's kind of where I thought Marvel's mind is. Now, you can ask yourself the question, should they make another Ant-Man movie? And yes, many people have that opinion. Many people believe they should be making another Ant-Man movie and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know if they will. I'm actually kind of guessing they won't. I still believe that they won't. Hopefully they do because I love this franchise and I love this character, but I just don't think they're going to do it. Now, that brings us to the other part. What do we think about Paul Rudd encouraging fans to go out and, campaign to get another one done? Well, technically speaking, that's not what he said. The way the headlines are being run right now, they're making it sound like Paul Rudd came out and said, hey, everybody, start petitions and campaigns. Tell Marvel we want to see another Ant-Man. Well, that's not actually what he said. What he said was in response to the question about are we going to get more, he basically said, I don't know, you'd have to call Marvel and ask the bosses for it because right now I don't know what's happening. So again, the headlines are making it sound like he's like, everybody come and rally behind me for us to get a new Ant-Man movie made. When that's really not what he did. It's really not what he said. But I mean, at the same time, look, as long as he's not asking people to start petitions, because petitions are useless. But if he was just saying, hey, guys, get on Twitter and express that, hey, you'd love to see another Ant-Man movie. I'm fine with that. I have no problem with that per se. I don't know how effective that would actually be or if it would do anything at all. But again, it's just important at this point to be clear that that's not actually technically what he said. So I just think it's important to keep that in mind. So I don't think we're going to get another Ant-Man movie. I sure hope we do. It's possible we do. But yeah, I think we might have seen the last standalone Ant-Man movie. What do you guys think? Do you think they're going to make another Ant-Man movie at some point? Jump down in the comment section below and let me know what you think. I'd love for there to be another one because I love this character. I love the way Paul Rudd portrays him. I think he brings a different dimension to these movies whenever he pops up on screen. I love this dude. I hope they do. I just don't think they will, but we'll see.